When the war in Ukraine began, so did a philosophical divide in the GOP. The traditional conservative wing supported financial and military support, while the more populist isolationist wing sought to steer clear of the conflict. Now, following Hamas's wave of terror against Israel, the divide still shows up, but not as clear-cut. Each candidate agrees Israelis have the right to defend themselves, they should receive diplomatic support, and that President Biden's policies enabled the attack.
The Israeli attack was made because we are perceived as being weak and ineffective and with a really weak leader.
The Iranians are funding Hamas and Hezbollah and all these groups, and they're funding it in part with money that they've gotten because of the Biden administration's weak policies.
The division begins to take shape over how far America should go. Nikki Haley has been the most outspoken in that regard.
This is not just an attack on Israel. This is an attack on America because they hate us just as much. And I'll say this to Prime Minister Netanyahu, finish them. Finish them. Hamas did this. You know Iran's behind it. Finish them. They should have hell to pay for what they've just done.
Upstart populist Vivek Ramaswamy, however, sees that language as warmongering rhetoric.
She's representative of a broader wing of the Republican Party, the Lindsey Graham, John Bolton, Chris Christie, Mike Pence, Nikki Haley wing of the party that is trying to bring back an era, a bygone era for now, of disastrous U.S. Middle Eastern engagement, almost as though they're salivating over the opportunity to go to war again.
Former Vice President Mike Pence has used the war against Israel to accuse Ramaswamy, Ron DeSantis, and former President Trump as voices of appeasement, as he calls them, when it comes to foreign conflicts like this.
If Mike Pence wants to blame me for what's happening, I think that most people would just laugh at that. What a joke.
Leader of the pack, former President Trump, as you might expect, marches to the beat of his own drum. While he has fully supported Israel, Trump's drawn criticism from rivals for calling Hezbollah very smart.
And they said, gee, I hope Hezbollah doesn't attack from the north because that's the most vulnerable spot. I said, wait a minute. You know, Hezbollah is very smart. They're all very smart. The press doesn't like when they say it.
He also criticized Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, saying he didn't join forces with Trump to help take out a top Iranian terrorist.
I'll never forget that Bibi Netanyahu let us down. That was a very terrible thing. I will say that.
That led Mike Pence to pounce.
Look, all of this is out of place in this moment, and it's reckless and irresponsible for former President Trump or any American leader to send any message other than full and unconditional support to Israel.
And as the war in Israel potentially expands, the political fighting inside the GOP will heat up even more, especially if Iran gets involved. At that point, the divisions over what to do next in support of Israel could deepen even further. David Brody, CBN News, Washington.